chance to win. I signed again.
Well, folks, it's one of my favourite times of the week because I get a couple of moments to talk exclusively to the one and only Jimmy Tao right here on the Playbook Extra, which is proudly powered, of course, by Supersport Bet. Now, I'm wondering how many folks out there know that you're a Manchester City fan, and a big one.
A big one, of course, and we've had a bad season last season, and this season started a bit on a positive, but we lost 2 games. We're playing Arsenal at home this weekend. We'll see.
Well, the positives coming out of it, we saw Foden back somewhere near his best, and of course the big man Erling Haaland scoring, not only for Manchester City, but many for Norway as well. So lots to look forward to. But let's talk about this trip now to play at the Emirates against Arsenal, who for a couple of seasons now have come second, haven't got the job done. What do you think of this big game?
Look, I think it's a fixture worth talking about, considering where both teams find themselves on the table standings as things stand. But I think with Man City, with the injuries they've sustained in their team, their best team might be depleted in terms of who to field for this particular one. But also I look at the Arsenal team that's been able to grind results. They've not really been as fluid as they've been, or how we know them to be able to play. But I think they've somehow mastered the art of being able to grind results. They went away to Manchester United, got a very difficult away win there on that 1-0 margin. So you can see it's a team that's also developing in character, and they're playing at home. They've always given Man City a tough match, since even when Arteta moved over from Man City to Arsenal. So I'm looking at a game where I think it's going to be a very tactical game from both teams.
There's so many facets, you're right, because there's the student and the teacher element with Arteta and Pep, of course. But the other thing is, I'm just looking at Arsenal, have also got their own injuries. Odegaard, Saka, life without them at the moment. They're probably, for this season, a work in progress. But you did spend a bit of time talking to me about how solid they are at the back with Saliba and Gabriel. Saliba's also been on the sidelines. But they seem to know how to get results. And they had a good win, Champions League, away from home earlier this week. So it's a fascinating contest. Do you see goals in the game?
This game has always produced goals. But I think it's the tactical standard of the game. You see how both teams approach this one. That Gabriel-Haaland contest has always been one to look forward to. Last season, I think Gabriel had Haaland in his back pocket. You know, Haaland playing a bit different this season, a bit more mobile. Might it work for Man City against Arsenal? The wing play has also been solid from both teams. So I think, like I said, it's going to be much more tactical than anything else. And we hope to see goals in this particular fixture. Donnarumma coming in has given really City a big boost in the defense. In the middle of the park, Rodri coming back. He has started 2 games so far, and I think he'll get better with time. So I think, it's a quite exciting fixture.
Well, you and I see it quite similar. In fact, on Tuesday, our World of Champions live broadcast on Champions League, I actually said I feel that the Donnarumma purchase, him arriving, is as big as when Haaland arrived, because he's just so good. And Sean Bartlett was saying, the reach of the man, he's going to command. You'll know from a defensive point of view, to have a goalkeeper that can command his defence, I think that's a huge plus for them.
Every defence wants, when they are under siege, when they look back, you want to see a goalkeeper of Donnarumma's stature behind you, because in that you've got experience, you've got quality, you've got presence. He gives them height, even on set pieces, because Arsenal have always been strong on set pieces. So you've got someone that you can also rely on to come in, whether to catch the ball or to give those clearances or the fists away, just to make sure that they defend. But I think it's work in progress. Both teams have really not been fluid, and I think they're playing each other at the right time, where they're really trying to close the gap between the leading pack, and with Man City having to catch up. I mean, they currently finding themselves with such a
bit off the pace.
A bit of the pace, and this for them will be a 6-pointer against Arsenal. They're on 6 points. That's Man City and Arsenal are currently on 9 points.
I wouldn't worry too much because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And Jimmy's got, I can tell everybody, by the way, if you watch the playbook, not the extra part, but the real playbook, he's put his money on Manchester City. So that probably is a point. Thanks very much to Jimmy Tower giving us his observations on a massive, massive game. Arsenal at home against Manchester City. And you can have a bet, of course, with SuperSport Bet. Go to supersportbet.com for your odds.
Super Sport Bet, your chance to win. I sound again.